collapsing to the ground. Renhai, who had appeared out of nowhere, spoke up. Damn it, so he was playing with a real little friend. Fei also complained. This is so troublesome. How about I release that dog again? That two-run guy was playing the victim. He pointed at his face and said, Who on earth are you? Why are you impersonating me? Master, deal with him quickly. This person definitely has a scheme. He was sent by some sect. Yifan was stunned and asked back, me? Ziyun's mind was a mess at this point, muddled and unable to tell them apart. At this moment, the two little systems were also discussing. The chicken blood system turned around, its face full of indignation, and said to the sign-in system, System, are they blind? The fake one is so obviously ugly. How can I not tell? The sign-in system heard this and didn't explain, but took out 2 guns. It asked, Come on, tell me quickly, which one of these is a 98K? The chicken blood system was immediately dumbfounded. Aren't these 2 guns the same? Seeing this, it said, Now you know why you can't tell, right? At this moment, the fake guy was hugging Ziyun's leg and pretending to cry. Master, what are you still hesitating for? Don't you believe that your disciple is your precious disciple? She immediately pushed Ren away, stating with certainty, That's not right. My precious disciple wouldn't be so flustered. Who on earth are you? The guy was furious. I've been found out? Ren's eyes turned sharp, and he instantly reverted to his original form. He grabbed Ziyun by the throat and threatened. So what if I've been found out? You're just a nascent soul. She couldn't react in time and was caught by him. Yifan shouted worriedly, Master. Renhai also spoke up. This is bad. Little friend's master has been captured. Ren pointed at him and warned, Don't come over here. One more step and I'll kill her. He didn't dare to act rashly and could only ask, What do you want? Seeing that he was obedient, Ren thought, He doesn't dare to move? It seems this woman, though weak, is quite important. Thinking of this, he pushed his luck and made a condition. If you don't want her to die, then let me go. Otherwise, I'll strip her naked right now and play her to death in front of you. Hearing the guy's disgusting words, the chicken blood system was furious. This guy deserves to die. I can't stand the sound of his voice. The sign-in system wouldn't let it go either. It threw out a talisman. How dare he bully someone close to the host? I'll hit him with a blood poison, so he can never touch anything again. Ren was still gripping her throat tightly, slowly lifting Ziyun's body. Suddenly, to his horrified eyes, lumps started appearing all over his body. He immediately let go of Ziyun and fell to the ground, clutching his body and screaming. It hurts so much. What on earth is happening? Over here. Yuan, open the lid of jar. She pointed inside and asked Xie, Have you seen my egg planting pill? Xie, with his hand behind his back, looked inside and replied, I almost forgot. I refined it into a blood ginseng pill. She asked curiously, Then where's the blood ginseng pill? He replied with a smug smile, I fed it to someone. There was an imposter who wanted to sneak into the sect, but unfortunately, I saw through him. It turned out that Ren's transformation was caused by Xie, the main culprit. Ren was trembling with anger, helpless, and could only curse in his heart. Damn you, Xie, this damn Ziyun sect. I will absolutely not let you off easily. Then he took out a golden bracelet and a necklace with a blue diamond. Seeing that item, Huang Ru happily recognized it. It's my magic treasure again. Fei Yi at the side was a bit helpless. You dropped too many things. Yifan didn't say much. He directly snatched the item from the guy's hand, saying, This should be returned to its rightful owner. The guy saw this and was extremely shocked. He can actually snatch a magic treasure releasing immortal energy with his bare hands? The 2 little systems behind them laughed smugly. You fool. This is the power of our system. Although a bit scared, Ren still threatened with a stiff upper lip. Give me back my magic treasure. I'm warning you. The Grand Elder of our Sunstar sect is at the peak of the Tribulation Transcendence realm. He is monitoring all movements. If I can't contact him, he will definitely kill all of you. Yifan was not afraid at all and said calmly, Then contact him for me to see. Seeing this, Ren timidly took out a green token and said smugly, Just you wait, your day of death has come. Suddenly, the token shattered before his astonished eyes. An announcement voice sounded. Hello, the other party has canceled the sound transmission jade slip. Please use another method of contact. Thank you. Ren realized he had been sold out and roared in fury. You damn old geezer. I served you for nearly 1,000 years, and you treat me like this. Qing Lan stepped forward, holding a scythe, and said impatiently, Are you done talking? If you're done, then come be fertilizer for the flowers. Ren screamed in despair, No. Over here, in a certain space, the bankruptcy system was standing before a locked data file. She touched it and said, "Is this the information from Yi Fan's 99 previous lives? Damn it. Why is so much content locked?" The monitoring eye next to it issued a first warning. Bankruptcy system. Viewing the transmigrator's information is prohibited. She provocatively said, "Even the great system doesn't dare to control me. What right do you have to control me?" It issued a second warning. She paid it no mind and continued, "All right, tell me the method to break it." It replied, "Upload consciousness into the void. Decryption will take about 4 minutes." The bankruptcy system heard this and complained, "So troublesome." Uploading. Looking at the data being uploaded, she said softly, "I'm finally in. There are so many files." Suddenly, a file caught her attention. The bankruptcy system reached out and touched it. "Wait, what is this secret lock? 20% locked? Let's try to change it." A huge object suddenly appeared from behind. The monitoring eye ordered, "Kill it." Immediately, that strange object grabbed the bankruptcy system. Her body shattered in the creature's mouth. Sunlight shone through the window into the room. Yi Fan stretched and woke up. The sign-in system happily announced, "Ding, today's sign-in is successful." It handed him a rather large pill, then said in rapid succession, "Host, I helped you sign in today. The reward is a dragon origin pill, which can help you ascend from immortal to the tribulation transcendence realm, with a 5% chance of triggering a critical hit and breaking through to heavenly immortal." The chicken blood system next to it saw this and asked the system, confused, "Why are you doing these useless things? The host will use it eventually." It just smiled foolishly and said, "It's just a routine procedure to let the host know what rewards there are. Maybe one day the host will see the light." Yi Fan suddenly spoke up, "System, give me the dragon origin pill." The chicken blood system heard this and was extremely shocked. "Huh?" The sign-in system didn't hear clearly and quickly said, "Rejected again. Luckily, the item doesn't take up inventory space." But a few seconds later, it reacted, extremely shocked. "Wait, what did the host say?" He repeated, "I agree to cultivate. This whole time, going against you all, it's really been hard on you." The sign-in system placed the dragon origin pill in his hand, asking doubtfully as it did so, "Host, you didn't hit your head on anything last night, did you?" The chicken blood system turned to it and whispered, "System, we didn't get the wrong host yesterday, did we?" It heard this and said, "How could we? Didn't the imposter already revert to his original form?" The chicken blood system was still confused. Then why has the host's personality changed? But it didn't know either. How would I know? Yi Fan took the pill and immediately put it in his mouth. In an instant, a golden light carrying immense power appeared, enveloping his body. Super critical hit, 6th level of the heavenly immortal realm. The sign-in system saw this scene, completely stunned. Am I really not dreaming? The host is cultivating. The chicken blood system next to it comforted, "System, your suffering has finally come to an end." In the main hall of the GYANI sect, GYANI sat on the sect master's throne and asked the elders, "Regarding the actions of the Sunstar sect, how should we retaliate?" A male elder intended to stop her and said, "Retaliating like this is a bit inappropriate. After all, the other party has a peak tribulation transcendence realm expert." But the great elder immediately objected. "Revenge is a must. We just don't know Yi Fan's strength. How about we just have the Sunstar sect compensate a little?" Yuan also agreed with her words. "Sect master, we've already dealt with their people. Why bother with all that? We should take everything." Yi Fan walked over from somewhere. He comforted his master. "Master, don't worry about these things. I've already arranged everything for you." Ziyin was surprised to hear him say that. "It's settled?" "Precious disciple, what did you do?" He answered seriously, calm and confident. "I've asked Qinglan to go and kill all the cultivators and spirit beasts of the Sunstar sect. She should be back within an hour." It turned out that earlier, he had gone to ask Qinglan for help. "Friend, I need you to do me a favor." Ziyin was both shocked and worried. "Huh? Precious disciple, do you know how many people a major sect like the Sunstar sect has in their sect?" The great elder also spoke up. "A super sect, the number of people is equivalent to a country." Ziyin sighed softly. "That number of people is too terrifying." Yi Fan glanced at his master. "Is this all the ambition you have?" Then he crossed his arms and said seriously, "Master, I still have a principle. When facing obstacles, one's heart must be ruthless enough. If you hesitate like this, you can't be a sect master." Ziyin was very surprised to hear this. "I can't be a good sect master." Suddenly realizing something, She exclaimed, "That's not right." She waved her hand and said, "Precious disciple, if you do this, your Tao heart will suffer a backlash from your heart demon." He said nonchalantly, "So what? It's not like I'm the one doing it personally." Ziyun still firmly objected. "Precious disciple, I don't agree. Quickly call Qinglan back." Suddenly, he spoke in a slightly cold tone. "Master, are you giving me an order?" She replied, "Precious disciple, I'm saving you." Suddenly, everyone in the main hall knelt on the ground, leaving only Yi Fan standing. The two little systems turned around and hugged each other in fear. The chicken blood system said, "Sign-in system, what do we do now?" "The host isn't planning to kill his master, is he?" The sign-in system replied in a panic. "I have this feeling too. I feel like something big is about to happen. Someone is lowering the ambition value." This action had an immediate effect. Yifan seemed to have calmed down. He rubbed his head, turned away, and muttered, "Thinking about it carefully, it's actually not necessary to go through so much trouble. Isn't it about living a high-class life? Now I could just be a salted fish in the sect every day. Why create pressure for myself for no reason?" Everyone stared blankly at his sudden change. The great elder let out a sigh of relief. "Scared me to death. I thought Yi Fan was about to turn on the sect master." That male elder was confused. "What is Yi Fan's cultivation level now? Why can't I see through it at all?" Yuan said fearfully, "I almost thought it was all over just now." Ziyin immediately spoke up. "Then I'll inform Qinglan to cancel this massacre." The two systems saw this and hugged each other, crying with joy. "That's great. The host gave up. We almost perished together." A strange thought arose in Ziyun's heart. Was that just my precious disciple's rebellious phase? Clearly, if I had been a little firmer, I would have given in, yet he agreed with me. My precious disciple is so adorable. In a system space, the bankruptcy system reached out and crushed the monitoring eye, causing it to emit broken sounds. Operating, lost ability, exterminate. As she crushed it, she coldly ordered, "You want to bite my head off? You want to gnaw on my body? A filthy, disgusting thing, just die." She sneered and questioned it. "You dare to make a move on me with just this? You're tired of living. Who ordered you to do this? If you don't confess, then die." Even though it was in ruins, it was still extremely loyal. Don't even think about knowing. The bankruptcy system maintained a faint smile. As expected, the monitoring eye self-destructed. She witnessed it all, just chuckled softly, thinking to herself, knowing full well the monster couldn't kill me, it would rather self-destruct than reveal any information. The purpose must be to buy time, to erase all information about Yifan. It seems the secrets on him are even deeper than I thought. Next, the bankruptcy system opened a spatial black hole, saying to herself, "It seems I need to let them know. They must be careful of other systems." Back in the room, sitting on the bed, Yifan rested his chin on his hand and wondered, "Strange, I clearly don't want to cultivate. Why did I suddenly have the ambition this morning to gain cultivation, to unify the world, and even had improper thoughts about my master?" He looked again at the foolish appearance of the two systems, ruling out one possibility in his heart. The system probably doesn't have that kind of ability, otherwise I would have started cultivating long ago. How could it have dragged on for so long? He commented, "They look quite naive." Yifan called out, "System." The sign-in system excitedly raised its hand. "Host, what are your instructions?" The chicken blood system, not to be outdone, said, "I'm here too." The words that came out of his mouth were completely unexpected. "Help me cripple my cultivation." His light words left both systems stunned in shock. They hurriedly advised, "Host, don't be rash. Please reconsider." He just explained lightly, "I'm not being rash. I've said before, I don't intend to cultivate in this life." The chicken blood system said dejectedly, "That's right, but I've never heard the host say that." Seeing that the system had no intention of supporting him, Yifan raised his hand, intending to do it himself. "Not helping? Then I'll have to cripple my own cultivation." The sign-in system was still trying to persuade him. "Host, don't do anything foolish. If you damage your innate Tao body, it will be very troublesome to cultivate in the future." The chicken blood system also chimed in. "That's right, host. It would be terrible to become a mortal and be plagued with illnesses." Suddenly, a strange light shot straight into his heart, causing the two systems to gasp in fear. The sign-in system hurriedly asked with concern, "Host, are you all right?" He felt his body and replied, "I'm fine." The chicken blood system muttered, "Could it be an internal injury?" A spatial rift appeared, and the bankruptcy system stepped out. She spoke. "What are you thinking? I just helped you seal the host cultivation." The sign-in system reached out its hand, saying with dissatisfaction, Bankruptcy system, you're being too presumptuous. He's my host. The chicken blood system also chimed in. I also think your behavior is a bit out of line. Yifan asked blankly, why seal my cultivation? What I want is to completely cripple it to escape from cultivating. She smiled and replied, keeping this cultivation to protect those around you at a critical moment. Isn't that good? Then the bankruptcy system continued. I know what you're thinking. She listed the things he had experienced. Afraid of attracting powerful enemies. Afraid of bringing disaster to those around you, and also afraid of being betrayed by the system, becoming a sacrifice for an evil god. The bankruptcy system came closer and advised, but you should also know, it's not about fearing the wicked who come to your door with knives, but fearing that you don't have a gun in your hand. I suggest you think it over carefully. The sign-in system was full of vigilance. You better not try any tricks. She walked up to the two systems and said to them, follow me into the space to talk. The three of them entered it, and a spatial rift immediately closed. They entered a strange space with scattered asteroids. And in the middle was a strange polygon surrounded by two rings of light. Observing the scene inside, the sign-in system asked curiously, where is this? The bankruptcy system replied, this is a space I created to prevent anyone from eavesdropping. It was startled to hear this and asked, eavesdropping? Who are you guarding against? She replied seriously while opening a data device. I don't know either. This is a part of the data I collected. Among them are 6 systems that have followed Yifan before. The two little systems took the device, exclaiming in amazement as they looked. There's even a humanoid system? Even the famous invincible domain system is here? What? The talent replication system is in here too? The bankruptcy system explained, the mission to assist Yifan is of hellish difficulty. I don't know how many systems it has scared away. Only a fool like you would take it. The sign-in system was dejected. I can't help it. I didn't know the host was so difficult to please. The bankruptcy system crossed her arms and said, this has nothing to do with being difficult to please. It's that someone is targeting him. The sign-in system heard this and asked again, targeting the host? Who is it? The bankruptcy system replied, I already said, I don't know. But there's one thing I can be sure of. The other party has planted a mole within the system's internal structure. It heard this and said in shock, planted a mole? The bankruptcy system affirmed, that's right. And even attacked me. The chicken blood system, with tears in its eyes, lamented, I can't believe I got involved in such a terrifying matter right after graduating, Mom, Dad. I made it big. The sign-in system still had some rationality left and asked doubtfully, bankruptcy system, why are you so concerned about my and the host's affairs? Is it really just for a little bit of luck points? She replied calmly. Initially, I was just caught by the Z-Way Star Lord to cover her shift. The luck points she left behind have reached their limit. I can't spend them all. Earning a few luck points is just for fun. The two systems heard this and were once again shocked. Can't spend all the luck points? Is this the life of the rich? Suddenly, the bankruptcy system's attitude changed as it roared in anger. But some bastard dared to attack me, and even succeeded in a sneak attack. This is a direct slap to this Star-Lord's face. I absolutely cannot swallow this anger. I won't rest until I find a mastermind. This Yifan, I'm definitely helping him. Seeing her like this, the two small systems trembled in fear and hugged each other, not daring to say much. She immediately instructed, in short, be careful of systems from other planes. They are very likely enemies. Protect your host well. He is very important. The roll call system nodded in agreement. Okay, I'll remember. When the two systems returned, Yifan was fishing by the stream. Seeing them back, he asked, what are you talking about? The chicken blood system was about to blurt out, the bankruptcy system said, but the roll call system stopped it in time. It covered its companion's mouth and changed the subject. Nothing, just some idle chat. Hearing this, Yifan didn't ask further and focused on putting the fish he had just caught into the basket. The roll call system reached out its hand and said confidently, by the way, host, have you noticed anything suspicious around? Tell me, and I'll help you eliminate it. He rested his chin on his hand and said, there is one suspicious thing. Seeing this, it hurriedly asked, what is it? Where? He looked at it and replied, isn't it you? Hearing this answer, the roll call system sulked, feeling a bit wronged. Host, I'm being serious with you, but you're joking with me. He replied, who's joking with you? Appearing out of nowhere, forcing a bond. No matter how I think about it, you're very suspicious. Suddenly, the The system sensed something, unidentified target, not within recorded range. Could the enemy have appeared so quickly? Activating full defense mode. Yifan was surprised. For real? The two systems immediately grabbed their weapons and charged aggressively in that direction. The roll call system shouted, "Over there, get him. No matter who it is, I'll definitely beat him to his knees and then force him to be a gatekeeper." One held a net. One held a club, and they charged into the bushes together. Go. But before they could bring their weapons down, Yifan walked over and stopped them both. "I don't need any gatekeeper. Besides, don't catch the wrong person." Suddenly, he exclaimed in surprise, "Second senior sister?" Yifan picked up the teapot to pour tea and said politely, "Second senior sister, please have some tea." The other party replied courteously, "Thank you, junior brother." The roll call system floated in midair. Puzzled. So she's the host's second senior sister? Strange. Why don't I have any impression of her? The chicken blood system, however, commented, "She's very different from the others in the Purple Cloud sect." He spoke up and asked, "Second senior sister, why are you here?" Second senior sister blew on her teacup and explained, "All the ornamental fish on Sienyu Peak in the back mountains are raised by me. But I saw that junior brother likes to fish, so I had to catch new fry to release." Hearing this, Yifan scratched his head in embarrassment. "Ah, so those fish were raised by second senior sister. I'm so sorry." The image of a full fish basket flashed in his mind. She replied, not minding, "It's all right. I'm very happy to be noticed by junior brother today." He suddenly spoke up and asked, "Second senior sister, do you have an unspeakable illness?" Hearing this, she asked in surprise, "Junior brother, you could even tell this?" Yifan crossed his arms and recalled, "I once discussed the senior sisters with Master. Since third senior sister joined the sect, she has never once met you." He recalled Zi Yun's hesitant appearance when mentioning her second disciple. "What does that kid Zi Qing look like?" He continued, "When Master mentioned you, she couldn't remember your appearance, and I thought Master was getting old and senile." Seeing second senior sister's non-human form, he sighed softly. "So I misunderstood Master." Zi Qing currently looked like a giant, faceless cockroach. She said with some heartache, "Junior brother, your words are truly hurtful." Yifan turned to the system and asked in a low voice, "System, do you know what happened to my second senior sister?" It waved its hand and began to explain, "Host, your senior sister has definitely contracted a type of deep dive syndrome, or what I call NPC boundary perception disorder." It lectured eloquently, starting its lesson. The specific cause is an excessively low sense of presence. On the other hand, without even a face or a name, the target cannot be observed and recorded by the heavenly Tao. Over time, the target will gradually forget their own appearance, until they forget their own existence. Hearing this, he asked softly, "So that proves my name is very famous, basically findable in every aspect, right?" Then he said to the system, "Now that I've seen it, I can't pretend I don't know. Do you have a way to help my senior sister?" It smiled and replied, "If it's a prop, I don't have any on hand. I'll go to the shop to look when I have time." The chicken blood system heard this, puzzled. "The shop? But you don't have any luck points to exchange." It happily held up a wallet and said, "What era is this? Is there still someone who doesn't know how to keep a secret stash?" The chicken blood system prayed silently, "I hope the bankruptcy system doesn't find out about this." Yifan asked again, "What if there are no props? Is there another way?" This time, the system replied seriously, "Your second senior sister situation is a bit severe. It seems the only path left is to become famous throughout the world." He was puzzled again. How do I become famous throughout the world? The roll call system excitedly offered a solution. Have your second senior sister's cultivation reach the immortal emperor level, or become a son of fortune acknowledged by the heavenly Tao. Hearing this answer, he felt helpless. Those words don't sound very reliable. It immediately comforted him. It's not actually that hard, is it? Host, you're also a son of fortune. Maybe you can turn the situation around. Yifan looked towards his second senior sister and made up his mind. All right, I'll try. She's my senior sister, after all. Placing his hand on the teacup, he proposed to her, "Senior sister, are you willing to venture out with me and build a reputation?" Meanwhile, the flower spirit was enjoying the abundant sunlight, moisture, and spiritual energy. It danced happily, exclaiming, "So much spirit nectar is overflowing. Pour a little more." Huang Ru caressed it and praised, "This flower seems to really like people. If you could cultivate into human form, you would surely be an adorable little one." Huang Ru pointed at it and thought with regret, but this type of flower grows too slowly. Why don't I give it a bit of immortal power? Then she immediately reached out and touched the flower's spirit. In a remote mountainous region, two figures appeared in the sky, one fat and one thin, riding clouds to observe. The fat old man holding his staff spoke up. The spiritual energy here is thin, and there are no mountain peaks in sight. Why would a true dragon stay in such a poor place? He was the great elderly Changsheng of the Divine Dragon Clan, and the person beside him was the third elderly Xuandao of the Divine Dragon Clan. He replied decisively, absolutely correct. Someone reported earlier that traces left by an immortal had appeared here. Changsheng sneered. Immortal traces? You believe such nonsense? Looks like this trip was a waste of time. Hearing this, Xuandao was a little displeased. No one asked you to come if you don't believe it. Suddenly, a huge green light appeared before their eyes. The two immediately took notice of it and exclaimed in shock, "Immortal power! It's immortal power again!" Changsheng's eyes immediately lit up, and he said excitedly, "If we can find the immortal, it's worth it even if we don't meet the true dragon." Xuandao immediately smiled in satisfaction and said, "Now you believe my intelligence, right?" The light vanished, and the two quickly rode their clouds in pursuit, saying, "The aura has disappeared again. Could the immortal have hidden themselves again? There's a small sect over there. Let's go ask." The two landed in a vegetable garden where Ming Bai was trying to pull up a carrot. Xuandao cleared his throat. Then he walked over and asked, "Young man, have you seen any strange phenomena recently?" Seeing someone, he turned and asked me. Changsheng lost his patience. He frowned, pointed his staff at his face, and said, "Nonsense. Who else is here besides you?" Ming Bai replied, "With that attitude, why should I tell you?" He became even angrier, reached out and pointed at his face, shouting, still talking back, "Do you know who I am?" He crossed his arms without fear and replied, "I don't care who you are. With that attitude, I'm not talking." Xuandao hurriedly tried to mediate from behind. "You're already old. Don't bicker with a junior." But Li Changsheng's attitude was still extremely poor, and he charged forward with his staff, shouting, "You're courting death." Ming Bai's eyes widened in shock. Suddenly, a green light full of immortal energy appeared behind him. Shiji appeared behind him with a majestic presence, shouting, "How audacious! A mere Divine Dragon Clan dares to harm my master?" The two elders of the Divine Dragon Clan were simultaneously stunned. It's the true dragon? The dragon's enormous body blocked the light above their heads. The two looked up and exclaimed in shock, "A true dragon? Why is the true dragon inside his body? We've caused a huge disaster." The massive body landed on the ground with a thud. The chubby Shiji faced the two elders and asked, "Looking at you two, could you be from the Divine Dragon Clan?" Seeing its appearance, the two felt a little doubtful. Is this fat worm really a true dragon? It's completely different from what we've seen in paintings. Its chubby body was due to eating too well recently, a thick soup of carrots stewed with assassins. The two elders didn't think much and directly raised their question. "Lord True Dragon, why are you here?" It replied, "He's the one who raises me. What do you think?" Hearing this answer, the two elders were stunned. "What? Lord True Dragon? What exactly do you see in him?" It thought of Fei Ye's terrifying face, but said aloud, probably the sense of security. In its heart, it remembered Qing Lan and the others. Xuandao bowed, speaking to Ming Bai with a respectful expression. "According to the clan's rules, the one chosen by the true dragon will participate in the clan leader's trial. We can only invite our young friend, the future clan leader, to the Divine Dragon Clan now." Although Changsheng disliked Ming Bai, he could only agree. There's no other way. This is the only way. Ming Bai stammered, "Huh?" Shiji turned back to persuade him. "Master, just agree. The Divine Dragon Clan is extremely respectful towards me. If you go there, you can have any resources you want." Ming Bai thought with dissatisfaction. Go to some strange clan to be the leader? That doesn't sound like a good thing. I'd rather follow Senior Brother Yi every day and freeload. But if this is a great opportunity, will I be killed if I don't go? Then Ming Bai suddenly thought of something and clapped his hands. "That's right. I can go find Senior Brother Yi. Senior Brother Yi can deduce heavenly secrets and understands the past and present. If he thinks it's okay, then it's fine for me to go." Thinking of this, he quickly turned around, waving his hand as he said to the two, "I'm going to discuss this with someone. You two wait here." Changsheng blurted out, "Discuss? Could it be his master?" Xuandao looked displeased. "And he's making us wait?" At this moment, at the alchemy pavilion, there was a loud explosion and a corner of the pavilion's roof was blown off. Yi Fan walked to Ziqing's side, helplessly concerned. Second senior sister, are you all right? Ziqing lay sprawled on the ground, trembling as she replied, I'm fine, just a failed alchemy attempt. Outside the door, Yuan and Xia Yin peeked in to check the situation. Yuan asked Yi Fan doubtfully, what on earth did you borrow my alchemy room for? Xia Yin said, young friend, even if your talent is outstanding and a few months of your cultivation is equal to hundreds of years for an ordinary cultivator. Yuan also advised him, but alchemy is ultimately a different matter. It's useless to study it desperately. If you want to learn, you can come to me. I guarantee I'll teach you until you know how. Hearing them, only replied, forget alchemy, I have no interest in it. Ignoring the two who were propping up the falling roof, he turned back to help Ziqing up, comforting her. Second senior sister, why don't you try another way? If you can reach an unprecedented realm, maybe you'll be remembered by the world. Ziqing replied sadly, junior brother, let's just forget it. I don't have the talent for cultivation and getting stronger through battle like first senior sister, nor do I have the unique insights into swordsmanship like third junior sister. Then she frowned and said, besides, you've seen it yourself during this time. Whether it's alchemy, fist techniques, mind arts, or cooking, none of them are up to standard. Ziqing recalled when he brought her before Renhai, who looked around and said, teach who? Has the person arrived yet? Or when he brought her to Huangru, she looked at Ziqing in surprise. Senior, you mean you want me to teach at mind arts? Even when he brought her to Qinglan, she was still rejected. My techniques are only suitable for spirit beasts, not your senior sister. Cooking was even worse. When practicing cooking, a disaster struck, and the fish in the oil pan all exploded and flew out. On the side, the system was whispering to Yi Fan, host, for someone like your senior sister to change, it's very difficult for the heavenly Tao to even glance at her. The chicken blood system also chimed in. I advised the host to use some more drastic methods. Maybe it will be effective. Hearing this, he was curious. Drastic methods? The chicken blood system enthusiastically suggested, confess to your second senior sister. You are the son of fortune. After you confess, she will become the female lead. He was a little surprised. Huh? The roll call system also chimed in. I support it too. I once read a book where the female lead was a rabbit with a very low sense of presence. The male lead confessed to the female lead in front of the whole school and saved her. Yi Fan refused without hesitation. I don't have those kinds of thoughts about my second senior sister. Besides, don't just randomly apply things from novels to this world. The roll call system sighed. Then I don't have any better ideas for now. But the chicken blood system was still immersed in it, and it came up with another idea. Host, I have another suggestion. How about you imprison her? And then domineeringly, seeing the system rambling on, he shouted angrily, shut up, eliminate all romantic inclinations. Ziqing said sadly again, junior brother, give up. Perhaps my life is just like this, arriving obscurely and leaving obscurely, just like many mortals in the world, living an ordinary life, waiting for a coffin. Then she continued, my sense of presence is too low. Maybe no one will even close the coffin for me. Also, don't forget to tell junior brother, your cultivation is high and you'll live long. When the time comes, remember to help me with the burial. Yi Fan recalled how Ziyin used to follow behind him, persuading, good disciple, just cultivate for a little while. With your innate Tao body, you'll reach the Qi refining stage very quickly. But he had refused. Master, don't waste your effort. I've decided to lie flat in this life. You should just prepare an urn for my ashes early. Hearing that, Ziyin hurriedly shouted, jinxing it. How unlucky. Yi Fan called out softly, second senior sister. Before he could finish, Mingbai ran over from somewhere, panting as he said, senior brother Yi, I need your help. Yi Fan stroked his chin and asked thoughtfully, the Divine Dragon Clan? The roll call system beside him said excitedly, I've investigated it. It's a cultivation clan protected by a true dragon all year round. They have a supreme dragon bone. If your senior sister replaces hers with it, her cultivation might soar. Hearing this, he thought to himself, the supreme dragon bone. Thinking of my past life, I feel a pang of pain again. The feeling of having one's bones dug out is not pleasant at all. Mingbai, looking a bit nervous, asked, senior brother Yi, What do you think I should do? He replied and made a suggestion. With a true dragon protecting you, there probably won't be any problems. By the way, can we come along? Hearing that, he immediately turned and waved his hand, saying, I'll go ask. After hearing Ming Bai's reply, Changsheng immediately refused. What? You want to bring an unrelated outsider into our divine dragon clan? No way. Xu Dao, beside him, was more moderate and advised. Young man, you must think carefully. This concerns your future. Seeing they wouldn't agree, Ming Bai crossed his arms and said bluntly, no way. If you don't let senior brother Yi go, I'm not going either. His determined look made the two feel displeased. Xu Dao silently comforted himself. Calm down, for Lord True Dragon's sake, what are clan rules? While Changshan cursed under his breath, this kid is so stupid, daring to refuse the divine dragon clan for a mere mortal. Seeing that he couldn't do anything about Ming Bai, he had to concede. He can come along then. If your senior brother causes any trouble, don't blame us for turning hostile. Having gotten the desired answer, Ming Bai immediately turned to Yi Fan. Senior brother Yi, I succeeded. Yi Fan also turned back and praised him. Well done. Although he agreed on the surface, Changsheng was secretly thinking of ways to deal with him, using his status as the future clan leader to boss me around. If I can't deal with you, I'll deal with your senior brother. Arriving before the giant flying ship, Xu Dao said politely, please, both of you, board the ship. By the side of the ship, Changsheng's eyes darted, and he began to plot. Just teaching this mortal a small lesson will be enough, so that kid won't turn against me. He lifted his foot, intending to trip Yi Fan, but unexpectedly, a dark shadow stepped on his foot. He jumped up in pain, clutching his foot and yelling, damn it. Ziqing hurriedly apologized. I'm sorry. Xu Dao turned back and asked, what trouble are you causing now? He turned and pointed his staff at everyone, saying angrily, it seems someone stepped on me. Suddenly, he bumped into Ziqing again. She dodged, causing him to miss his step and tumble down the ramp. Xu Dao hurriedly chased after him, shouting, Great Elder. Aboard the ship, Xu Dao said to Changsheng, you're already old, yet you still bicker with a junior. Bickering is one thing, but you even fell flat on your face. You've completely lost all face for our divine dragon clan. Changsheng, covered in bruises, said tremblingly, there's something wrong with that kid surnamed Yi. I sense 2 auras from him. He definitely has bodyguards with him. He said with a certain look, Li Ming, by bringing this person along, definitely has other intentions. For the sake of the divine dragon clan, and to ensure the clan leader's position is secure, we must get rid of this Yi Fan. Xu Dao, beside him, could only think helplessly. This is clearly abusing public office for a private grudge. Changsheng gritted his teeth, thinking viciously, I've got it. I can put poison in the tea. As long as I leave the tea in his room, he'll drink it sooner or later. If he gets a stomachache, it's working. In a month, his meridians will be severed, and he'll become a complete cripple. Over here, Ziqing said to Yi Fan, making a request. Junior brother, that fat old elder completely ignored me and didn't arrange a room for me. Can I come to your place to meditate? Seeing this, he immediately agreed. Second senior sister, there's no need to put yourself through that. Just stay in my room. I'll go find that skinny elder who looks easier to talk to later and ask him to get me a new room. Hearing this, she was overjoyed and thanked him. Junior brother, thank you so much. A few minutes later, Changsheng, feigning warm hospitality, came over with a teapot. He walked in and said cordially, young friend Yi, it's a long journey, still 3 to 5 days to go. Would you like a cup of tea? But upon entering the room, he didn't see anyone and looked around, searching. Strange, where did he go? Then he opened the teapot lid and thought to himself, if that kid isn't here, I'll just add a little more medicine to his tea. Ziqing witnessed these actions and was extremely indignant. How outrageous, deliberately dirtying the tea. Does he think Junior brother was the one who stepped on his foot? Holding a grudge against Junior brother over such a small matter. What a waste of his cultivation. After finishing, he left the tea, turned, and left, saying with a laugh as he walked, take your time and enjoy. Ziqing immediately made a plan. I'll switch the tea to his room later and let him drink it himself. Ziqing then began to act. A while later, Ming Bai came to Changsheng's room and asked him, Fat Elder, can you help my senior brother change rooms? He finds the room not bright enough. Hearing him being called that, he roared in frustration, what fat elder? My name is Li Changsheng, a mere mortal with so many demands. Tell him to pick a room himself. What a joke. Then, as he picked up his teacup to drink, he cursed under his breath. Do you think I'm your servant? After drinking, he suddenly realized something was wrong. Wait, isn't this tea set the one I specially used for Yi Fan? Why is it here? He fell to the ground, clutching his stomach and groaning in pain. My stomach hurts so much. I can't even use my spiritual power. Wait, change rooms? So he saw through it. Then he used all his strength and crawled with difficulty to the door, thinking, damn it, I was played by that kid surnamed Yi. No, I have to find a skinny elderly Xuandao to get an orifice-opening pill, or my cultivation will be crippled. Even though he pushed with all his might, the door didn't budge. It turned out it was locked from the outside. He shouted from inside, someone, that guy surnamed Yi, you dare to lock the door? You rotten brat, I'm not done with you. On one side, Yi Fan and the two small systems were cleaning the room. He complained as he swept. This spare room is so dirty. There's dust everywhere. The Divine Dragon Clan. A group of people was waiting for someone. One person spoke up. They're here. This person was the acting clan leader, Li Shentong. The flying ship landed on a piece of land. Everyone disembarked, observing the surroundings. Li Mingbai was slightly amazed. This is the Divine Dragon Clan? Li Shentong was already waiting here and said respectfully, welcome, Lord True Dragon, Lord Li Mingbai. The clan's secret realm trial has been opened and is waiting for you. After passing it, you must also be recognized by the celestial immortal mirror to become the clan leader. Mingbai was shocked after hearing this and said, I just arrived and you already want me to take a trial? Li Shentong was just as surprised. Wasn't it you who requested it? Speaking of which, he turned to Li Changsheng, frowning and cursing inwardly. What kind of trick is this pighead playing now? Meanwhile, Li Changsheng was secretly delighted. Once the clan's secret realm trial is opened, it cannot be stopped. Since it has come to this, we can only proceed with the trial. Knowing he had made a mistake, but unable to stop it, Li Shentong could only grit his teeth and apologize to him. I'm sorry, Lord Li Mingbai. There was an error in my information, causing the trial to start too early. But once this secret realm is closed, it will take 100 years to open it again. I hope you can make do and pass this trial. Hearing this, Mingbai thought to himself, was I tricked? I haven't even had a cup of tea, and I have to take a trial as soon as I arrive. I should see what Senior Brother Yi says first. He hurriedly called out to Senior Brother Yi. Yi Fan knew what he wanted to ask and quickly replied and instructed. Since it's all arranged, you should just go. By the way, the trial might be dangerous, so be careful with everything. After hearing this, Mingbai was immediately relieved. With these words from Senior Brother Yi, I'm at ease. He immediately turned and proposed to Li Shentong, then lead me there. Li Shentong gently extended his hand in an inviting gesture. Please come to the altar ahead. Yi Fan prayed silently in his heart. I hope Junior Brother Li can pass the trial. If he can help second senior sister get the Supreme Dragon Bone, they should agree, right? A member of the clan turned back and whispered to Li Changsheng, Great Elder, the secret mechanisms in the secret realm have been activated, ensuring that the acting clan leader won't discover any flaws. Will doing this anger Lord True Dragon? He replied nonchalantly. So what if it angers him? How can the Divine Dragon Clan fall into the hands of an outsider? The person continued, Great Elder, your complexion is very poor. Could it be? He was cut off before he could finish his sentence. Don't ask what you shouldn't ask. Next. He looked towards Yi Fan again, grinding his teeth as he thought, let's see how I'll deal with you later. By then, that brat surnamed Li will lose his qualification for the trial, and no one will be left to protect you. Li Mingbai walked to the middle of a certain area. In an instant, the surrounding scenery began to change. Purple leaves started to appear, and Mingbai entered a purple forest. He walked and thought, is this the trial stage? It's too dark, I can't see what's inside. Is the true dragon here? How should I take this path? After a while with no response, he realized, it seems I can't contact the true dragon. I can only rely on myself. Reaching a fork in the road, the two paths were completely different. Li Mingbai looked at the grass below, overjoyed. It's 100-heart grass. The entire path is covered in it. I've struck it rich. He then looked at the other path and said, those pitch-black fruits must be poisonous, right? Poisonous fruits, poisonous plants. I absolutely can't take that path. Time passed. For hours later, Li Changsheng thought to himself, for hours have passed, and that brat surnamed Li still hasn't come out. It seems he's more likely dead than alive. He ordered his subordinate, make your move. The man immediately complied. Suddenly, someone broke the silence. This is bad. The heavenly immortal mirror has been stolen. Hearing this, Li Shentong's face turned pale with shock. and he said anxiously, "What? It's been stolen? All of you, go and check." Li Yi, did you see who stole the heavenly immortal mirror? That person immediately blamed Yi Fan, pointing at him and saying, "Who else could it be? Of course, it's Lord Li Mingbai's follower." After hearing this, Li Shentong said doubtfully, "That mortal? Hasn't he been sitting here the whole time?" Li Changsheng chimed in, "It's true he's been sitting there, but that doesn't mean he's immortal. This brat is very strange. He's a spirit cultivator who can control soul bodies to cause trouble." Seeing this, Sun Dao hurriedly tried to dissuade him. "Great Elder, watch your words. You can't just because you have a personal grudge against him." Li Changsheng turned his head and shouted, "On the flying ship, I was locked in a room by this brat. You were the one who opened the door. Have you forgotten?" Hearing these words, Sun Dao also hesitated a little. "It's possible," Li Changsheng said domineeringly. "I don't care. Seize this brat now. We can definitely pry some secrets out of him." Li Shentong then gave the order. "Then do as the Great Elder says. Take him away." Suddenly, a female voice rang out. "Before you suspect my junior brother, you should prove your own innocence first. I see that mirror hidden in your sleeve." Hearing the voice, everyone warily turned their heads and asked, "Who? Where?" Finally, they noticed Zi Qing. Looking at her appearance, they were extremely shocked. "When did she enter our clan? We couldn't sense her at all. Her strength is not simple." Li Changxing became even more certain. "See, I told you the brat was definitely problematic." Zi Qing asserted once more. "I said the mirror is on him. Whether it's true or not, we'll know with a single search." Yi Fan was quite surprised. "Second senior sister, I didn't expect you to be noticed by others." Li Changsheng hurriedly clutched his sleeve, stammering in denial. "No, Li Shentong immediately stepped forward, pointed at his face and scolded, "You did all this just to deal with a mortal?" Changsheng remained unrepentant, stubbornly threatening the clan head. "Do you really want to oppose me for a mere mortal?" Li Shentong turned away, replying, "In any case, he is Lord Li Mingbai's senior brother." Li Changsheng flew into a rage. He raised his staff, pointed it at the acting clan head, and shouted, "Li Shentong, don't forget who promoted you from the position of second elder. If you really let that outsider become the clan head, you'll be nothing. I'm helping you. If you dare to search me for the heavenly immortal mirror today, then just wait to face my wrath." Hearing these words, Li Shentong didn't think any further. He gave the order. Outsiders cannot be trusted. These two are spies sent by the enemy to hide beside Lord Li Mingbai. Deal with them on the spot. The group immediately complied. Yes. They quickly pointed their weapons at Yi Fan and Zi Qing. Seeing himself surrounded, Yi Fan frowned slightly, his eyes turning ice cold. The current situation reminded him of the past, and he thought to himself, surrounded again. It was the same last time in the Liang Kingdom. Could it be that I was born with an unlucky sacred physique? The check-in system angrily cursed. This damn fatty is really twisting black and white. If I had known he was this much trouble, I would have given him a bottle of idiocy potion to finish him off. The blood-pumping system also spoke up. When I heard him guess that the host was a spirit cultivator, I thought the soul bodies he mentioned were us. Turns out it was the host's second senior sister. Being cursed like that, perhaps he sensed something as he suddenly felt a chill down his spine. Seeing the tense situation, Sun Dao hurriedly tried to mediate. "Clan head, you mustn't. They are Lord Li Mingbai's guests. If he comes out, he will be furious." Changxing snorted in response. 4 hours have passed, far exceeding the normal trial time. "I say he's already dead." Just as he finished speaking, Li Mingbai appeared, holding a bunch of flowers as he asked, "So many people, what are you all doing?" Seeing him walk out safe and sound, Li Changsheng was utterly astonished. He pointed his staff at his face and asked, "Li Mingbai, why aren't you dead yet? You even passed the trial?" He was a bit annoyed by the other's baseless question, and retorted, "Why should I be dead?" Inside the trial area, Li Mingbai had been happily picking flowers without encountering any obstacles. The dangerous things around him were all too scared to touch him. Unexpectedly, he has a dragon's might. Must not provoke, must not provoke. But he was completely unaware, still excited. "I've really struck it rich this time." Li Changsheng was extremely shocked. "Impossible, because I clearly..." Before he could finish his sentence, the system injected him with a dose of truth serum. He unconsciously blurted out the truth. "Because I told Li Yi to activate the mechanism in the secret realm." I wanted you to die. Not just you. That brat surnamed Yi must die too. Hearing this, Li Mingbai flew into a rage, turning back to scold them. You people beg me to come to the Divine Dragon Clan to be the clan head. But as soon as I arrive, I have to take a trial, and you even want to kill me and senior brother Yi? This worthless clan head position of yours. I don't want it. As for Li Changsheng, he was dumbfounded. Huh? Why did I say that out loud? Seeing his anger, Li Shentong hurriedly knelt and begged, Lord Li Mingbai, it is our fault. Please calm your anger. He then promised, I will now cripple the great elder's meridians and expel the sinner Li Changsheng from the Divine Dragon Clan. As soon as he finished speaking, a row of sword tips was pointed at Li Changsheng. He was terrified, but his mouth was still stubborn. What do you think you're doing? I am the great elder. The great elder who has made glorious contributions to the clan. He continued resentfully. So what if this brat passed the clan's trial? He hasn't been acknowledged by the heavenly immortal mirror, so he's still not the clan head. As expected, being an elder has its limits. After contributing so much to the clan, my treatment is worse than some brat who fell from the sky. Suddenly, Li Changsheng laughed loudly. So you want to play it this way, do you? Hearing this, Li Shentong was a little scared. What on earth do you mean by that? Li Changsheng pulled out a gleaming golden mirror and raised it triumphantly, saying, I'm not going to be an elder anymore. Li Shentong, this mirror is the heavenly immortal mirror. Everyone watched in astonishment as Li Changsheng raised the mirror, shouting, Heavenly immortal mirror, please contact the immortals of the upper realm and tell them who is the most suitable person to become the head of the Divine Dragon Clan. The mirror emitted a sound, contacting nearby immortals. Li Changsheng was drenched in sweat, praying inwardly. It's working. As long as I can contact the Mingyuan immortal sect, I'll be saved. Suddenly, the mirror zipped over and landed in Yi Fan's hand. Li Shentong exclaimed in shock. Why did the heavenly immortal mirror fly into a mortal's hand? It greeted him enthusiastically. Greetings, Lord High Immortal. Yi Fan waved it away. Shoo, shoo, shoo. I'm not immortal. It obediently complied. You are right. If you say you're not, then you're not. Then it said cheerfully, speaking of which, from the send on you, you must have come into contact with my master, Huang Ru, right? Take me with you quickly. I miss my master so much. Yi Fan was a bit surprised to hear this. You're also a magic treasure that Huang Ru dropped? That's strange. You don't have a nose. So how can you smell anything? Beside him, Li Mingbai's eyes were full of adoration as he said, as expected of my senior brother Yi, truly beyond expectations. Li Shentong also spoke up. I never thought that the person beside Lord Li was an immortal and even has connections to the upper realm. As for Li Changsheng, he was so scared he collapsed onto the ground, thinking worriedly, it's over. I never thought he was an immortal. I'm dead for sure. Very quickly, everyone from the Divine Dragon Clan knelt on the ground, saying respectfully, High Immortal Yi, please accept this bow from the Divine Dragon Clan. Yi Fan saw this and hurriedly told them to get up. Get up, get up. It's not what you think. Ziqing witnessed this scene, feeling a little lost as she thought, I never expected junior brother to be so powerful. In just a few short months, he's become a distant immortal in the cultivation world. Compared to him, Then she turned and walked away. Her action made Yi Fan notice his second senior sister, but before he could chase after her, he was surrounded by a group of people from the Divine Dragon Clan. Li Shentong spoke up. Hi, Immortal Yi, please wait. You came this time. Is it to endorse your junior brother Li? The others immediately chimed in. Yes, yes, yes. Choose junior brother Li. Li Mingbai was moved to tears, deeply grateful to Yi Fan. Senior brother Yi is too good to me, taking me from a chi refining disciple all the way to being the decision maker of a great clan. I will definitely not let down my senior brother's teachings. Li Shentong turned to congratulate him. Congratulations, Lord Li Mingbai, on becoming the head of the Divine Dragon Clan. Sun Dao also added, the glory of the Li clan is restored, all thanks to Lord Li Mingbai. After hearing this, Li Mingbai immediately gave them an order. Since you all acknowledge me as the clan head, then you must not disobey any of my words. First, you must build a statue for my senior brother Yi. A very large statue. They replied in unison, yes. On a protruding mountain ledge, Ziqing was sitting by the cliff. Yifan walked up behind her and asked, "Second senior sister, why did you run out here?" "It's dangerous over there," she replied with a hint of melancholy. "It's nothing. I'm just sitting here enjoying the scenery below the mountain, watching all the living things. I want to know what it feels like to stand on high." He knew something was on her mind and advised, "Second senior sister, if something's wrong, just say it. You might feel better if you let out." She replied, "For now, only you and my junior brother. You must not tell anyone else about this." The two gossipy systems began to discuss. The check-in system started to speculate. Here it comes, the classic scene of a lone man and woman on a cliff. It's either lovesickness or a confession. Then it wondered, what kind of bizarre plot is this? But seriously, why is there a cliff here? The blood-pumping system shrugged, replying nonchalantly, "Don't ask. If you have to ask, it's destiny." Ziqing began to open up. "Junior brother, did you know? I'm actually very insecure. When I was little, I looked very scary, and no one was willing to adopt me. Only Master didn't mind, saying that my eyes were very beautiful. Then I came here." The two systems were curious. "Eyes?" She continued to open her heart. "I have a secret that not even Master knows. I originally planned to bury it forever. But when I saw you being exposed by the heavenly immortal mirror, you looked so dazzling in front of those worshippers. Junior brother, you're like a prince or a general from a fairy tale, while I'm like a farmer's daughter who would never have any connection with you." Then she looked down the cliff and said, "Junior brother, I want to—" The blood-pumping system held a bag of melon seeds and said smugly, "I guessed right. It really is a confession." The check-in system was shocked. "My God, what is this Cinderella plot? Quick, give me some melon seeds." But she said with determination, "I want to become someone who is feared by others, just like you." This statement stunned all three of them. Ziqing explained, "I've always wanted to see the look of reverence on others' faces when they see me, that look of both fear and helplessness." Then she used a terrifying analogy. "It's like tying a lamb to an iron post, then using a knife to flay it piece by piece from the feet up, then making toad paste, and stuffing it into its head." Hearing her words, Yifan said with some fear, "Second senior sister's analogies are truly unique." The two little systems were no longer gossiping, but said with pale faces, "The host's second senior sister is too scary. Suddenly, I feel it's better that she has no presence." Ziqing stood by the cliff, sunlight shining on her. The sky suddenly darkened, and dazzling bolts of lightning appeared. The check-in system was horrified. "The divine might of the heavenly Tao," the blood-pumping system said in disbelief. "Her concept has been recognized by the heavenly Tao." A green light appeared around Ziqing's body, and her figure gradually emerged. Yifan and the two systems witnessed this scene, all feeling a bit scared. The check-in system commented, "What terrifying spiritual power and will." The host's second senior sister is definitely no ordinary person. The blood-pumping system also chimed in, "As a system, I also feel a fear from the bottom of my heart, as expected of someone recognized by the heavenly Tao." The green light around her seemed to have undone some kind of seal. Deep underground, something had sensed the king's bloodline. "She's still alive?" From underground, swarms of cockroaches poured out, all heading in the same direction, excitedly sensing that aura. "The king's bloodline, our queen, has returned." The scene shifts to the territory of the great Liang kingdom. Zhan Su was giving instructions. "Next, you must properly assist that new emperor. Remember, don't let other enemies take advantage of the sect's vulnerability." Suddenly, someone ran in. The person reported, "Sect Master, this is bad." She turned her head and asked, "What's with the panic?" The person immediately explained the situation. "The commoners in the city and the entire sect and all of the Eastern Wasteland have seen black demonic creatures, like an army marching towards the northwest." She was shocked. "What? Over here?" Upon seeing Ziqing's appearance, the check-in system was puzzled. "Why is she completely different from what I imagined?" The blood-pumping system also held its head, confused, and her image is too strange. "She's clearly a disciple of perfected Ziyun, but doesn't have purple hair." Ziqing's voice trembled. Finally, Yifan called out, "Second senior sister?" Ziqing had an adorable face, pink hair, and purple eyes. She turned around and said happily, Junior brother, look, I've finally returned to my original appearance. He looked at her appearance and said, puzzled, second senior sister, why are you dressed up as a cockroach? She replied nonchalantly, cockroach? What's that? This is my natural appearance. Natural? Not only did she have 2 antennae and thin brown wings, but she also had a pair of insect-like hands. Suddenly, a voice rang out, Your Majesty the Queen, we have finally found you. She looked in that direction and asked, Who are you? Yifan also looked over, seeming to realize that she was the cockroach queen. The insect people immediately knelt down reverently and introduced themselves. Your Majesty the Queen, we are the subjects of the great Lian Empire in the western regions, and also your servants. Then, the person recounted, that year, you unfortunately got lost. A scene from the past appeared. An ancient city was engulfed in a sea of fire. A cockroach person held a child and said to another, The princess is the only bloodline left by the late emperor. The late emperor sealed all the marks into the princess's body. We must protect her well. Everyone immediately complied. Yes. The system exclaimed in confusion. Superman Clark? Then, that person handed the child to another, instructing, Help me watch the princess. I'll be back after I kill the enemy troops. The other person took her, then quickly passed her to someone else. Help me watch the princess. I'll be back after I kill the enemy troops. Just like that. The little princess was passed to the next person. Help me watch the princess. I'll go call them back. Yifan and the system felt helpless after hearing this. The blood-pumping system complained indignantly. This is what you call getting lost? It's clearly a case of being completely ignored. Back to the past. At that time, Ziyun was walking in the forest when she discovered the child. She was surprised. Someone abandoned a baby? How immoral. She picked up the child and said, This child has purple eyes. It seems she has a great affinity with my Ziyun sect. From now on, you will be my disciple. As Zi Qing reminisced, she remembered how well Master Ziyun treated her. Yifan quietly commented, Master is really whimsical. The cockroach person bowed and pleaded, Your Majesty the Queen, you must avenge the late emperor and make those old geezers from the Holy Medicine sect pay the price. Yifan turned to the system, puzzled. Isn't this a fantasy world? Why is the West involved? The check-in system explained. Because the planes are originally like this, it's just that they usually don't involve the Western continent. The blood-pumping system, however, had an epiphany. I finally know why I couldn't see through the host's second senior sister. It turns out she was hidden or omitted by the heavenly Tao. Ziqing turned to look at Yifan, saying with reluctance, Does this mean that I have to part with Junior Brother now? I won't be able to see everyone at the Ziyun sect anymore. The person spoke honestly. My queen, you don't need to be so sentimental. With your current strength, going back is no different from suicide. She was speechless after hearing this, scolding, so blunt, as if seeing something. She let out a cry of surprise. Then, the person suggested again, Your Majesty the Queen, I wonder if we could stay by your side to serve you? She had no idea the numbers were so large, and readily agreed. I guess that's fine. It's just a few more mouths to feed in the sect. As soon as she finished speaking, thousands upon thousands of pitch-black cockroaches swarmed over from the distance. She was shocked and immediately took back her words. It's better if you don't follow me back to the sect. Hearing these words, the person asked, Why is that? Suddenly, Yifan received a message. He was surprised. Third senior sister? Why is she messaging me at this time? Ziyin sent a message. Junior brother, Master fainted. He was extremely worried upon hearing this. Master? What happened to Master? In the sect, Ziyun was frantically recounting. I'm telling the truth. It was a 2-meter-tall black bug. It zipped out of my room, and there were 10 smaller bugs behind it. Hearing these words, everyone just thought in another direction. The great elder spoke up and asked, Sect Master, how long has it been since your room was cleaned? She knew what everyone was thinking and shouted angrily, That's not it. Yifan and Ziqing had returned. Opening the door, Yifan said hurriedly, First senior sister, second senior sister, and I are back. Ziqing also asked with great concern, Senior sister, how is Master? Zibing and the others were very surprised. She seemed to ask in disbelief, You call me senior sister? Could it be that you are? Ziqing? Ziyin was also curious. Why isn't her hair purple? Ziyin looked at Ziqing and said with certainty, These eyes, you really are our Ziqing. Ziqing knelt by the bed, opening her heart. Master, your disciple Ziqing has been unfilial. Only today do I dare to show you my true face. Ziyin quickly reached out to help her up, saying, Ziqing, get up quickly, get up quickly. With tears in her eyes, Ziqing said emotionally, Master, my memories seem a bit hazy. Why do I feel that your face is much thinner than I remember? Master Ziyun took out a green jade pendant. She showed it off happily. That's right, look at this, everyone. Although I fainted, I'm fine. It's all thanks to my precious disciple's protective talisman. Seeing this, Ziqing was a little surprised. Master, you've accepted Junior Brother's gift? The great elder saw Ziyun's behavior and reminded her, Sect Master, control yourself a little. Your disciples are still here. Yi Fan led the person through the door, observing everything in the room with his arms crossed. Suddenly, Zhensu appeared behind him out of nowhere. She said smugly, Daoist friend Yi, your master fainted, and I was the first one to rush here from the great Liang kingdom to treat her. At this moment, Ziyun finally remembered Yi Fan and hurried to his side to ask, Precious disciple, did you encounter any black demonic beasts on your way? Those demonic beasts have been rampant lately. I heard they've appeared in both the cultivation and mortal worlds. He replied hesitantly, We did. Hearing this, Ziqing pointed to the insect person and introduced, Are you talking about him? The person also gave a friendly greeting, Hello? Seeing this, Ziyun let out a scream of both shock and fear, and fainted again. Zibing cried out, Oh no, Master fainted again. Then she turned to Zhensu for help. Daoist friend Zhen, please help. The insect person saw Ziyun faint and asked guiltily, Did I cause trouble? Yi Fan replied helplessly, You could say that. Over here, a little girl in green was eating a lollipop. The little girl complained, So slow, I wonder what Master is doing. The little girl was the personal disciple of the Myriad Beast sect, Liang Ying. Previously, at the imperial palace of the Liang kingdom, Zhensu spoke up. This child's aptitude is not bad. She's definitely a good seedling for cultivation. How about I take her as my disciple? The other person immediately agreed. Then I'll leave the arrangements to you, immortal master. Before leaving, he instructed Liang Ying, Daughter, we are a side branch of the Liang family. Now that the Myriad Bee sect is supporting our Liang family to become the royal family of Great Liang, you surely understand what this means. The little girl replied, Daughter understands. I will definitely perform well in the Myriad Bee sect. Thinking of this, the little girl raised her lollipop again, cursing inwardly, That rotten old father, sending me to the Myriad Beast sect as a hostage for the sake of the throne. She also secretly resented Zhensu. Master is really something else. She said she would take me to the Myriad Beast sect, but now she's dumped me in a strange sect. She thought resentfully, I don't want to be a pawn in your hands. If I don't cause some trouble, you'll really think this little demoness is easy to control, won't you? The husky and the nine-tailed spirit fox were digging in the dirt with their butts in the air. The nine-tailed spirit fox asked, Brother Husky, is there really blood ginseng here? The husky replied with great certainty, Little sister fox, I guarantee there are definitely spirit herbs here. Suddenly, a fragrant smell wafted over, attracting the attention of both. The nine-tailed spirit fox said, Drooling, it smells so good. Is it roasted chicken today? The husky was also attracted by the food and immediately stopped what it was doing. No more digging, little sister fox. Let's go eat first. The two happily rushed toward the plate holding a giant chicken leg. Time to eat. But before they could touch the chicken leg, they were caught in a net and hung upside down from a tree. The husky reached for the chicken leg below, drooling, and stammered, Leg. The nine-tailed spirit fox turned her head and said sadly, Brother Husky, we've fallen into a trap. Liang Ying walked over. The little girl put them into a basket, and after finishing, she said with satisfaction, A bountiful harvest. If the spirit beast's owner finds out, he'll surely be furious. Time to cause some more trouble for Master. Suddenly, the little girl noticed the flower demon stretching out to sunbathe. It spread its two leaves and said with satisfaction, The sun is so nice today. Liang Ying immediately walked over. While plucking its petals, aggressively chased after her. Go home. Don't go home. Go home. This scared the flower spirit out of its wits, and it screamed, Help, I'm going to die. Huang Ru descended from the sky, saying angrily, What are you doing? Although the ground was covered in fallen petals, the little girl said without blushing, I saw this flower had a few withered leaves, so I just helped to trim a few. Huang Ru, chasing her, growled through gritted teeth. This is a flower I spent so much effort and immortal energy to cultivate. I must teach you a lesson. Only then did Liang Ying feel scared. The little girl muttered to herself as she ran. This is bad. I have to run. After running for a while, the little girl suddenly bumped into someone. Liang Ying bumped into Yi Fan and fell flat on her back. He stopped abruptly, thinking to himself, He noticed the yellow jade pendant the little girl was wearing around her neck. He looked at it and asked, This is? The little girl held it up and said, Oh, this is my jade pendant. What's wrong? He replied, Nothing. It just looks quite similar. At this moment, Huang Ru had also caught up. The young lady said angrily, Senior, don't let her off. Seeing Miss Huang Ru so furious, he asked curiously, What happened? Huang Ru explained, She plucked all the petals from the flowers you planted. Liang Ying was a little panicked. Oh no, the owner of the flowers is here. He stood in front of Liang Ying, waving his hand to explain, It's just a few flowers. They're not that precious. But I remember you've been helping me take care of them lately, so it's not convenient for me to say anything. Huang Ru replied, Senior, taking care of the flowers for you is my duty. At this moment, Bai Tao and Fei Yi also walked over. Bai Tao spoke up, Senior Brother Yi, this is bad. The tail feathers of the two spirit pets you're raising have been. Yi Fan and Liang Ying both felt a little uneasy. Then they both pointed at the basket on the ground, saying with extreme indignation, Plucked bear. Yi Fan and Huang Ru were both stunned in astonishment, while Liang Ying gave a forced, fearful laugh. Fei Yi stormed over furiously and warned him, Senior Brother Yi, step aside, or you might get splattered with blood. Seeing this, Liang Ying quickly hid behind him, fearfully trying to explain, Senior, this is just a misunderstanding. I just saw that they were about to enter their molting season, so I conveniently collected some. Hearing this, Fei Yi shouted even louder, Who are you kidding? You think spirit pets can't talk? Over on the side, the huskies stood there dumbfounded, while the nine-tailed spirit fox buried its face in the ground. The two spirit pets were completely devastated from having their tail feathers plucked bare, looking at the three pairs of eyes blazing with killing intent in front of her. Liang Ying was terrified. I'm dead. I've gone too far with my mischief again. Before, just for picking a few flowers, that young lady in yellow wanted to beat me to death. Now that master isn't here, are these two going to skin me alive? She hurriedly tugged on Yi Fan's arm, pleading, Senior, I was wrong. Can you please forgive me? Yi Fan thought to himself, then suddenly felt something. This girl's ability to cause trouble is too strong. Wait, how did I forget? This feeling is a bit familiar. He turned to Huang Ru and said, Wait a moment. Then he took out the treasure she had dropped last time, explaining, I was a guest at the Divine Dragon family before, and I heard this mirror say that you are its master. She immediately recognized the heavenly, immortal mirror and exclaimed with joy, This is great. Every time I meet you, Senior, I'm lucky enough to get my magic treasure back. Thank you, Senior. Yi Fan took the opportunity to say to her, If there's nothing else, you should go back and refine your magic treasure first. She immediately ran off, happily replying, Yes. Seeing this, the flower spirit held out its hand with a gloomy face. Then what about me? After that, he turned to Bai Tao and Fei Yi again to explain, You two, don't be too angry. I was the one who told her to pluck the spirit pet's feathers. Bai Tao was still a little unconvinced. Senior Brother Yi asked for it? Why? He then made up a touching explanation. Because the fur of spirit beasts is very soft, very suitable for making clothes or scarves. You two work so hard taking care of the spirit pets. Isn't it right for the spirit beast to give a little something back to you? This was truly speaking serious nonsense. Hearing his sweet words, the two of them immediately cheered up. Bai Tao said, moved, Senior Brother Yi, you're too good to us. Fei Yi also spoke up, we misunderstood this little girl. Seeing the two who were so aggressive just a moment ago change their attitude so quickly, Liang Ying couldn't believe it. He persuaded them to leave with just a few sentences. They trust this senior way too much. The check-in system spoke up in praise. As expected of the host, this talent for sweet talking is amazing, coaxing these three women into a good mood in an instant. The chicken blood system asked curiously, System, why is our host covering for her? It explained, the reason is most likely that jade pendant. Did you forget our host has a jade pendant too? The chicken blood system nodded in realization. That seems to be the case. The check-in system continued. I heard from the host's family. The person holding the other half of the jade pendant is the partner arranged by the heavenly Tao. Hearing this, The chicken blood system immediately understood. Oh, so that's how it is. Yi Fan turned to Liang Ying to lecture her. From now on, don't randomly damage other people's things. Got it? She immediately admitted her mistake. I know I was wrong. She thought to herself, strange, this person looks about the same age as my older brother, and I can't sense any cultivation from him. So why do those people call him senior and senior brother? Then she guessed on her own. I get it, he must be like me, a noble who was just brought up the mountain, then taken in as a personal disciple by the sect master or an elder. We're both down on our luck. Since he helped this lady out of a jam this time, I will definitely repay him well. She was the one who was new here. She chased after him, put her arm around his shoulder, and declared confidently, Senior, after I break through to the golden core stage, I'll protect you and help you soar to success. And she invited him to eat. Senior, to thank you for saving me, let me treat you to some grilled fish. I saw a lot of sharks in the back mountain. He scratched his head and said, I go fishing there every day. She was very surprised to hear that. Don't tell me this whole mountain belongs to you? He replied shyly, that's not wrong. Suddenly, his eyes lit up and an image of a girl appeared in his mind. He thought to himself, with such an eccentric personality, I finally remember who she reminds me of. Isn't this girl's behavior exactly like my younger sister's? After so many reincarnations, I actually couldn't remember my own sister. It really hasn't been easy. Then again, could she really be my sister's reincarnation? He recalled old memories, his sister cheerfully jumping on his bed, calling him, time to get up, while he lay in bed with a look of annoyance. It's the weekend. Or in front of the bookshelf. She asked him, where did you hide the dirty books? Hearing this, he helplessly held his forehead and said, I don't have anything like that. Or his sister crying and whining, my thumbtack fell on the floor. This left him completely speechless. Liang Ying put her arm around Yi Fan's shoulder, chattering away as they walked behind him. Zhen Su witnessed this scene and couldn't help but wonder, what is this little disciple of mine doing? How could she be so bold as to pat Daoist friend Yi on the back? This is bad. Has she mistaken Daoist friend Yi for a weakling on her level? Zhen Su felt a little regretful. If I had known, I would have thrown her into the 10,000 Beasts sect. Here she comes again. I'll have to find a chance to call her back later. On the other side, Ziyin was full of guilt. She offered, Ziqing, you've learned almost no techniques from me all these years. I, your master, feel truly ashamed. If you need anything, just tell me. Hearing this, she declined. Master, there's no need for that. But this disciple has a question I've always wanted to know. Hearing this, Ziyin said, just ask. She asked bluntly, Master, what do you think of little junior brother? I heard from the senior and junior sisters that your concern for little junior brother seems a little excessive. After hearing this, Ziyin smiled and replied, what are you talking about? Your little junior brother has an innate Dao body. His cultivation speed is unmatched. If Master doesn't treat him a little better, what if he gets tricked away by another sect? Ziqing then asked, is that so? Then what if little junior brother wants to dual cultivate in the future? Hearing this question, Ziyin froze for a moment, a little flustered and stammered, wants. What? Then she gave a perfunctory explanation. Our precious junior brother is still young. It's too early for him to look for a Dao companion. Why should we worry so much for him? Suddenly, the two of them noticed Zhen Su hiding behind a tree. Ziyin asked curiously, Daoist friend Zhen, what are you doing over there? Are you also here to release fish fry? She walked over and asked, Daoist friend Zhen, what are you looking at? She immediately said, nothing. I just feel that my newly accepted little disciple seems a bit too lively. Hearing this, Ziyin was extremely curious. You've taken on a new disciple? Let me see. By the stream, Yi Fan and Liang Ying were chatting happily, and they had even started a fire. A burnt to a crisp grilled fish appeared. At this moment, Yi Fan and Liang Ying were sitting by the fire, grilling seafood together. Liang Ying called out happily, Senior, have a taste. Yi Fan looked worried, thinking to himself, is this even edible? On this side, Ziyun had a sorrowful expression, pouting as she thought to herself. That is, looking at Liang Ying's incredibly cute face, her mood worsened, thinking in her heart, that is, my disciple's disciple and future partner. Thinking of this, she comforted herself, it can't be, it can't be. Ziqing suddenly realized something. No way. What the senior and junior sister said is true. Master really has developed feelings for little junior brother that go beyond a master-disciple relationship. Ziqing thought in confusion about the huge gap in seniority between the two. saying in her heart, although the cultivation world doesn't oppose master-disciple romances, little junior brother is still too young, not even a tenth of master's age. It's really a bit strange to say it out loud. Suddenly, a hand grabbed hers, saying, Ziqing, can you help me take a look at that jade pendant? Ziyan made a request. Help me see if that jade pendant is a fake. Seeing this, Ziqing said, how could there be a fake jade pendant? On this side, Jiansu couldn't help but speak up. That jade pendant is something my disciple was born with. I heard she was born with it in her mouth. At this moment, Ziyan began to tremble with fear and said softly, a match made in heaven. A moment later, she turned and left under their gazes, her voice echoing back. It's nothing. I'm going into seclusion. Arriving at a cave, she placed a hand on the rock wall, her body exhausted, thinking in her heart, my precious disciple, this is a fate bestowed by heaven. I should be giving my blessings, so why do I feel so conflicted? Looking at her own constantly trembling hand, Ziyan said a few words to encourage herself. I should just focus on my cultivation. My disciples are all stronger than me now. If I, as the sect master, don't work harder, how can I lead the Purple Cloud sect? Surely, when I break through to the deity transformation stage, I will have figured everything out. Hearing her wish, a voice suddenly rang out. Do you want to obtain power? Hearing the unfamiliar voice, her face turned pale, and she asked uneasily, who's there? In her terror, she kept asking, who are you? At this moment, in the mirror, Yun Shang appeared with a mysterious appearance, her eyes blindfolded, looking extremely terrifying. She replied, who I am is not important. You just need to know that I can help you. On the other side, Yi Fan and Liang Ying were very anxious. He spoke up, it's time for dinner. I have to cook for master. Liang Ying replied, looking very surprised. Senior, you still have to cook for your master? He began to explain. That's right. At first I only made my own portion, but after they had a taste, they started coming over to eat often. She then replied, I didn't expect an immortal who has already abstained from grains to still have such an appetite. Liang Ying happily held up the burnt grilled seafood. Yi Fan had a helpless expression. She spoke up, here, an extra dish for everyone. This food is truly an absolute disaster. The chicken blood system and the check-in system flew over in a panic, reporting with worried expressions. Host, I need to report something extremely important to you. Hearing this, he frowned and asked, what is it? The check-in system, sweating profusely, spoke first. Your master has gone into seclusion, but I can't update her data from here. He still hadn't realized the urgency of the situation. Saying casually, is this very serious? It had a look of utter terror, thinking of Ziyun, and replied, extremely serious. This means that your master, At this moment, Ziyun seemed to have been corrupted, her blood-red eyes filled with evil, enveloped by black flames. It continued, has escaped the control of the heavenly Tao. Hearing this, the two of them couldn't help but be astonished. Liang Ying spoke up and asked, Senior, is she your master? Why does her aura feel so different from yours? Those blazing red, empty eyes stared at them, full of killing intent. Suddenly, Ziyun, holding a long saber, charged straight towards the two of them. She looked extremely evil and terrifying, as if she was being controlled, having lost all consciousness. The check-in system saw the danger and shouted, Host, danger! It quickly used a skill, Ting, automatically activating the enhanced version of the protective shield. The two attacks collided, creating a loud explosion. The light from the two skills was dazzlingly brilliant. A beam of brilliant power shot up into the sky, like a tornado, emitting a terrifying roar. The destructive power of the attack was so strong that it alarmed many people. Such a strong sense of oppression. On this side, after the smoke cleared, a deep crater was revealed. After those two attacks, everyone was still safe and sound. The check-in system and the chicken blood system flew forward with horrified expressions. The check-in system spoke up, such powerful firepower, the shock made my hands go numb. The chicken blood system pouted worriedly and said, Host, your master hasn't been corrupted, has she? At this moment, Jinsu also couldn't help but speak up. Daoist friend Ziyun, what are you doing? Did my little disciple anger you? Jinsu thought to herself. Could be that jade pendant? She began to command loudly. Disciple, quickly give the jade pendant to true person Ziyun. Liang Ying, who hadn't recovered from the shock, replied, Huh? Yes. At this moment, Yi Fan immediately stopped her. Don't take it out. My master will only get angrier if she sees it. While everyone was in a panic, Ziyun prepared to attack again. Still not done. That attack knocked away Jinsu's brush. she shouted in surprise. My brush. She then began to ask with some worry. Daoist friend Yi, is your master really the nascent soul stage? With my aperture leaving stage cultivation, I can't see through her strength at all right now. Faced with this question, he stammered in reply. I don't know. The chicken blood system sensed something and hurriedly reported. Host, check-in system. I've detected that master seems to have a system on her too. Yi Fan turned around with a serious expression. What? Yun Shang, with her terrifying appearance, said, Who I am is not important. You just need to know that I can help you. Whether it's supreme, unparalleled cultivation, or an unattainable demonic form, as long as you want it, I can help you achieve it. At this moment, Ziyun was a little hesitant, silent for a moment. A purple silk ribbon appeared from nowhere, and she knelt down, closing her eyes in discomfort, but her mouth still spoke. I am the sect master of the Purple Cloud sect. Every thought of mine is related to the future of the Purple Cloud sect. Even if I truly have improper thoughts about my beloved disciple, I must restrain myself. Our master-disciple relationship has not reached the point where I would disrupt my own life. Seeing this, Yun Shang seemed very pleased, raising a hand to her mouth and saying, Very good. For someone merely at the nascent soul stage to have such an epiphany, I have truly underestimated you. At this moment, white threads emerged from the mirror, wrapping around Ziyun, a very bizarre scene. Yun Shang continued, But I didn't come here to ask for your opinion. The scene before her terrified Ziyun to the extreme, her face unable to hide her fear. The threads began to wrap around her fingers, then spread throughout her body, controlling her and pulling her into the air. In her panic, her eyes became dull, and she gradually lost consciousness, but she managed to say one last sentence. You are not an inner demon. Before losing consciousness, she still heard Yun Shang's words to her. You are too weak. So what if you found out? Yi Fan gritted his teeth in annoyance and asked, There's a system on my master. What's going on? The check-in system began to explain. This is just my speculation. I'm not too sure either. Because hosts can see each other's systems, but it seems the host's master can't see us. The chicken blood system, seeing this, also added, That's right. Right now, she is only receiving power from that system. The check-in system decisively thought of a way. Host, if you want to solve this problem, the only way is to find the mastermind behind it, the one who is influencing your master. He asked in surprise, Then how do I find them? It replied, Give me some time. Host, you just hold off your master for now. At this moment, Liang looked up at the strange phenomenon in the sky and asked curiously, Were those two blurry things in the sky? Just as Liang and Yi Fan were distracted, Ziyun flew over from nowhere, intending to assassinate them. Suddenly, Qing Lan descended from the sky. As she landed, Qing Lan accidentally touched Ziyun's purple stream of power with her hand. She held the purple stream of power in her hand, her face full of worry, corrosive liquid. Suddenly, a shout came from distance. Stop! Fei Yi flew over from afar, using a skill to disperse that purple stream of power. She said loudly, to Qing Lan's surprise, I'm here to help you. After things settled down, Fei Yi asked with concern, Are you all right? Qing Lan smiled warmly and replied, It's just a small injury. Having received the news, the three of them, Zi Qing, Zi Bing, and Ziyin, also immediately appeared to provide support. Ziyin, flying over from a distance, immediately asked, Little junior brother, what happened? Zi Bing also added worriedly, Why has Master become like this? Yi Fan replied with a calm expression, 3 senior sisters, it's not convenient to explain right now. Please take the little sister next to me to a safe place first. His words made both Zi Bing and Zi Yin stare in astonishment, their eyes wide. Liang Ying, standing on this side, was also surprised to hear this and thought to herself, Little sister? Ziyun became more and more frantic, her power also increasing abruptly, unleashing one skill after another. Purple Cloud Art, first form, Raging Red Furnace. Zi Bing saw that stream of power and said in great surprise, This is a lost ultimate art of our Purple Cloud sect. How does Master know it? Ziyun's power became more and more terrifying, the dark power enveloping everything. Seeing the danger, Ren